What's up, guys? Ian here, coach of your Ladner Lanturn, bringing you guys our Week 8 match for the League of Extraordinary Trainers. This week we are taking on Eco and the Florida Feraligatrs. This match, just a... what'd you call it? Not a spoiler. I can't remember the word for it right now. It's on the tip of my tongue and I literally can't remember it. This match... Disclaimer! Thank you, Ian. Disclaimer. Disclaimer. This match did happen 4 weeks ago? Almost an entire month ago. It happened on December 10th, actually. So, yeah, I'm not going to remember a ton about this battle, and I'm just going to sort of talk over the points. I do remember there was a ton of switching, and it comes down to a pretty clutch moment at the end. But let's talk about Eco's team really quickly here before we move forward to team preview. He has Bisharp, Tapu Bulu, Dugtrio, which is a Z user, Ninetales, Alolan Ninetales, Tentacruel, Arcanine, Hitmontop, Venomoth, Alolan Sandslash, which is a Z user, Megalopony, and Alolan Golem. Going into this match, I was really scared of Hail, and he didn't bring either of his Hailmons. Sorry, I'm just going to move forward to the team preview so that I can actually say that with confidence. He didn't bring either of his Hailmons. Bisharp's a problem because... okay. He's got so much priority on his team that I'm really scared of. Things like Lopunny Fake Out, Bisharp Sucker Punch, Dugtrio Sucker Punch, all of that's really scary. He did bring Arcanine, you can see, so Extreme Speed on that's really scary too. All of it's bad news. Anyways, yeah, Tentacruel I'm kind of surprised to see, but I don't really have a way to deal with it in grassy terrain, so that kind of makes sense. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, the only thing I wasn't really expecting to see was the Tentacruel, so yeah. If you haven't seen my team builder, it went up right after my battle went down, so you probably have, unless you don't watch those, but maybe you should, because I talk about a lot of cool stuff. Anyways, if you haven't seen my team builder, we're bringing a Life Orb, a Cellgor, to take on the Arcanine yet again, with some Water Shuriken action. It's also a Spike Setter. We're bringing a Violite Tangela. I think it's making its debut, actually. I think this was Tangela's debut match. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure it's Nidoking's debut. It's not Nidoking's debut. Sorry, I brought Nidoking against ST. It is Tangela's debut match, and Tangela is going to be awesome. It's a great Pokemon. We're actually running Hidden Power Fire to take on the Bisharp as well as the Tapu Bulu. It's not just Hidden Power Poison. But this is kind of our Tapu Bulu check. It's really a great physical wall, and we eat anything from the Tapu Bulu really well. Set up Mana Feeds, Tail Glow, 3 attacks. Sub Recover, 2 attack, Mega Latios. Mamoswine is Leftovers, 4 attacks, I think. Was Stealth Rock maybe in there somewhere? Can't remember. And Nidoking is Scarf, 4 attacks. So yeah, that's kind of the gist. So let's get right into here. I believe I'm going to lead a Cellgor because that's my best lead, and he's going to lead something. I can't remember what it is. I think it's Lopunny. I guess we'll find out in a sec. I'm going to lead a Cellgor, and he's going to lead Lopunny. I don't want to take the Fake Out here, so I'm just going to go into my Tangela, which is my physical wall. And we'll see just how little this Fake Out's going to do. Even from Mega Lopunny, it's going to do absolutely no damage. Yeah, look at that. That's pitiful. Pitiful damage. As he goes out into Tentacruel, and I'm going to Sleep Powder and miss. Kind of unfortunate. He's going to go into Tapu Bulu as I go into my Mega Latios. Obviously not the best scenario for me, because I can't really hit that thing. I'm running Psychic coverage and Dragon coverage. Mega Horn actually does pretty pitiful damage to my Tangela as well. That was his best thing to hit my Latios with, so I understand why he went for it. And Tangela is going to get a lot of HP back. He switches out into Tentacruel again as I Hidden Power Fire. He still doesn't know if it's Hidden Power Fire or Hidden Power Poison based on that damage, because they would do the exact same to Tentacruel. As I'm going to double into my Mamoswine, and he's going to Toxic. Not the worst scenario, just because my Mamoswine is not really that useful in grassy terrain, but I'm going to Earthquake anyways, and we'll see that Arcanine is his dedicated switch in, get the Intimidate off. My Earthquake does more than I thought it was going to be honest, to a physically defensive Arcanine, but that does show to be physically defensive Arcanine. Now, I'm going to switch into something, I think. No, he's going to double into Tapu Bulu, thinking that I'm going to do something else. As I'm just actually going to Earthquake again, and this does pitiful damage to Tapu Bulu. Now, I'm starting to suspect this Bulu is Scarfed, so I'm actually not going to say it. No, he's going to double out into Arcanine again, and I'm going to double out into my Tangela, which is actually bad for me because Flare Blitz does quite a bit. So I'm going to go, he's going to double into Tentacruel, and I'm going to predict that and double into my Manaphy. And I'm like, yes, I got this, because I have Psychic on this thing, as he talks to me again. And that does nothing. That's specially defensive Tentacruel. Fully specially defensive Tentacruel. Absolutely disgusting. Why? What? Why? It hardballs my Manaphy. So mad. Anyways, Tentacruel goes into Bisharp as I double into a Selgor, which is pretty good for me. He was predicting me to Psychic, and I was predicting him to switch into Bisharp. So I got that prediction correct, and I go into Selgor here. I'm going to get a layer of Spikes up, I believe, as he switches into Arcanine. Yep. And now I have nothing to switch into this Arcanine, especially if he's running like Will-O-Wisp or something like that. So I'm just going to Water Shuriken. It worked against Mike, and it doesn't do great against... was it Mike? Yeah, it was Mike. It doesn't do a ton of damage. I only got the 2 roll, and Flare Blitz obviously knocks me out. But Selgor has done its job, and it got a Spike up. It did quite a bit of damage to the Arcanine, so that's all good. I'm going to bring out my Nidoking here, and he's just going to sack his Arcanine to my Earth Power as he Extreme Speeds. Nidoking picking up a nice kill. Mega Lopunny comes out here. I'm just going to go with my Tangela on the Fake Out. Obviously, he has no other play than faking out. Like, there's literally no reason for him not to just click Fake Out. He goes into Bulu on my Leech Seed, I think? Yeah, Leech Seed obviously doesn't affect. More doubles are going to happen, don't worry. Plenty of doubles. Yep, there's another double in Tentacruel on my Leech Seed. Nope, Hidden Power. I Hidden Powered again. And here he's actually going to Rapid Spin, but I did get some reasonable chip off on his team with the 1 Spike layer, and so it's not the worst that it's gone now. I'm getting a lot more recovery than Toxic is giving me at the moment. Toxic damage is doing to me at the moment on my Mamoswine. He's going to go into Lopunny. Lopunny's going to take that knockoff really well. I don't know why I clicked knockoff there over something like Earthquake or even Ice Cold Crash. Those would have been the plays. I think I was knocking off... I can't remember what I was knocking off anymore. Doug Trio, maybe? I actually switched out on the Doug Trio, and he's just going to get his Stealth Rocks up here, and Tangle is going to kill this thing with Giga Drain, because Doug Trio... Who knew? Doug Trio is actually weak as hell. Bisharp comes out here. I'm going to get an HP Fire off as he knocks out my Violate. Maybe a little bit bigger for him because now my Tangle can't eat hits as well, but we see that I get some good chip off. I get the Leech Seed off prediction onto the Tentacruel as he's going to show me Liquid Ooze. Pretty much the best ability he could have gone for, if only just for my Tangela, because I don't have, well, maybe for like the Enchao Drain Punch or something like that. I don't have a ton of like recovery, like sapping moves, so I'm kind of... I guess it makes sense because I wasn't setting up... the thing is, I could have set up Rain with Manaphy or something like that, so Rain Dish wouldn't have been a horrible option for him to bring. But Liquid Ooze ends up hurting my Tangle a little bit. As he goes into Tentacool here, I believe... yeah, I just go for the Sleep Powder, try and put that Tentacool to sleep. Obviously can't do it. I can't tank a Mega Horn, but I'm going to get some Regenerator back here, so I'm just going to switch into my Bulu, my Mamoswine to tank the Wood Hammer and die to the Wood Hammer, apparently. I thought it was going to be something else. In comes Nidoking. I am just going to go for the Flamethrower because I thought Bisharp was the best switch into a Sludge Wave, and my Flamethrower does nothing to that thing. Mega Latios comes out. Scald doesn't burn me, really good. Gets the crit. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to set up a sub? I can set up a sub on his Toxic. Yep, really good prediction by me, subbing on the Toxic. And then I think I would go for a Recover. As he goes into Lopunny, I go for a Recover. Now, Fake Out's going to break my sub, but I can kill this thing with a Psyshock, so I'm just going to do that. I'm going to Psyshock it to death. Unfortunately, we're not behind the sub anymore, and that means that Tapu Bulu can come in and do whatever the heck it wants, because Psyshock's not going to kill it, and now there's Draco Meteor. I'm going to go with my Manaphy to die. 2 Mega Horns will do it, I believe, because one of them crit. And yeah, no, it won't. After my recovery, it will not. So I'm just going to go for a Tail Glow here, actually, I think. Yep, I go for a Tail Glow, and now my Manaphy's a huge threat to his entire team. We do a lot of damage to everything. I'm going to go for the Psychic here, hoping and praying that it kills the Tentacruel, and it doesn't. It doesn't. And he goes for the Haze, and all of a sudden we're in a really bad spot, and my Manaphy's kind of a waste. Yeah, another Psychic. I think I go for another Psychic here as he goes to Bisharp. Yeah, it wasn't really worth it for me to predict that, so unfortunately he gets some recovery on his Bisharp. And we're pretty low. I think I end up just sacking to knock off. Yeah, we're running no speed on Manaphy, I believe. I'm pretty sure it was like full bulk Tail Glow 3 attacks. But Tangle can KO this thing with HP Fire as he goes into Tapu Bulu. It's not going to want to take one, actually. I go for the Giga Drain for some weird reason, but in the grassy terrain it does a lot. get some recovery back. Oh, you know why? Because he still has Tentacruel alive. That's why I didn't go for HP Fire. We see Mega Horn's doing quite a bit, and Hidden Power Fire is not doing quite enough to 2KO it. Otherwise, it would have been worth it for me to lose this. But he goes into Tentacruel here, and I'm going to double into my Nidoking. Now I can just click Earth Power and claim a kill. So that's what I'm going to do, is click Earth Power and claim a kill. And now I believe he brings in Bisharp and goes to the Sucker Punch. I can eat the Sucker Punch. I calculated that I can eat a Sucker Punch with this, and I'm going to kill this thing with Earth Power. Sorry. We're sitting at a reasonable amount of comfortable HP. I see he goes into Tapu Bulu here. I'm locked in Earth Power, and that's not going to kill, so I'm going to go into my Tangle and sack it. As he goes for a Mega Horn, hits, does quite a bit of damage. Not quite, well, it is to a KO. Unfortunately, it keeps getting recovery. Hits another Mega Horn and kills my Tangela. I'm going to go into my Nidoking here because Sludge Wave will clean up the game for me here because I'm Scarfed. And it turns out that Modest Scarf doesn't outspeed Jolly Max speed Scarf Tapu Bulu, and so we actually lose the game. We lose the game to a Mega Horn spamming Tapu Bulu. We lose 1-0 to Eco and the Florida Feraligatrs. Unfortunate misprep on my part, I guess, because that should probably say Nidoking 4 and Tapu Bulu 1. Yeah, so we end up losing the game. Bad speed prep on my part. I talked in prep about how Scarf Bulu can be a serious threat to my team, and Nidoking was there to outspeed Mega Lopunny. I didn't really take into account the fact that Scarf Jolly Tapu Bulu outspeeds Mega Lopunny. Yeah, so, you know, modest max speed Nidoking. I did it for the damage. Maybe I didn't need the damage. Maybe I could have gone timid and done the same amount of damage. But all in all, it was just a misprep on my part that ended up losing me the game. I think that was probably one of the more entertaining battles I've ever played. By far the closest battle I've ever played. Absolutely the closest battle I've ever played. It really came down to, like, I think I did the calculation afterwards, and it was legitimately like 2 points of speed or something that it came down to. Yeah, quite a few things could have gone differently that game. Maybe the Tentacruel dying to a Psychic, or taking more from either of those Psychic rolls, maybe. Something like a Selgor doing a little bit more damage to the Arcanine probably wouldn't have mattered. But maybe it would have, I'm not entirely sure on that. Something like Tapu Bulu taking more chip damage from something else. Maybe Tangela living a few more, taking a little less damage from a few Mega Horns. Yeah, all in all, it really comes down to the last play there, because in my mind, everything else didn't matter, except for the fact that my Nidoking couldn't outspeed his Tapu Bulu and kill it with a Sludge Wave, because that would have been the play. That really would have been the play. Anyways, that was our Week 8 match against Eco and the Florida Feraligatrs, and that's a GG. So I will see you guys next week for our Week 9 match against Frost and the Irvine Infernape / Mountain Doom Dark Rose. Anyways, I'll see you guys later.